Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Duggar family gathers for Jill Duggar's daughter Isla's funeral. Counting on alum Jill Duggar has been mourning the loss of her baby girl, Isla Marie Dillard. The 32-year-old mom previously shared photos of the funeral of her baby. However, she remained discreet about the guests. It's known that Jill has been estranged from the Duggar family for years, making many people curious if they attended the sad day. Until recently, the fourth Duggar child finally revealed who came to her daughter's final resting place. Keep reading to see the new photos. Counting on, Jill Duggar announces stillborn birth. On April 14, Jill took to social media to announce the heartbreaking news of her tragic stillborn birth. According to the former Counting On star, she was already 4 months pregnant before they found out that the baby died in utero. Jill also shared how excited her family is to meet the baby girl, especially her sons, who couldn't wait to introduce their sister to the world. We appreciate your prayers as we continue to grieve and heal from the loss of our little Isla Marie, she added. The Duggar family gathers for Jill's daughter Isla Marie's funeral. In an Instagram post, Jill Duggar Dillard shared new photos from the funeral of her daughter, Isla Marie. The Counting On alum even shared biblical quotes as a tribute to her daughter. The married couple also revealed that baby Isla Marie was laid to rest on April 19, 2024. But what caught the attention of many was the attendance of the Duggar family, including Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar, who are known for their strained relationship with Jill. All of them flew pink balloons as a tribute to the baby girl. Jim Bob can be seen standing next to his son, Jackson, while Michelle appears to be behind Jill and Derek. Here are some of the comments the married couple received. Counting On, will this create a bridge for Jill Duggar and parents? Jill previously revealed that she's been working towards a healthy relationship with her parents. The Counting On alum has already spent some time with her mother, Michelle. Jill and Derek even attended the Duggar family's Christmas party last year. However, their status with Jim Bob remains a mystery. There are speculations that things are still tense between them, especially after participating in a documentary against the IBLP and even discussing some of the most controversial accusations against Jim Bob during a podcast. At this point, fans can only hope that Jim Bob's participation at his granddaughter's funeral will help heal his wounded relationship with Jill and Derek. The chapel was quiet, filled with the soft hum of whispered condolences and the gentle rustle of tissues being passed around. The Duggar family, often at the center of public scrutiny and admiration alike, had gathered for one of the most heartbreaking events they had ever faced, the funeral of Jill Duggar and Derek Dillard's daughter, Isla Grace. The loss of a child is a sorrow that defies comprehension, and for Jill and Derek, it was a grief magnified by the large, tight-knit family that had come together to mourn with them. A tragic loss. Isla Grace, just 6 months old, had been the light of her parents' lives, a joyful and curious baby whose smile could brighten the darkest days. Her passing was sudden and unexpected, leaving the family reeling. Jill, known for her resilience and steady faith, had shared a heartfelt post on social media announcing the tragic news, thanking friends and followers for their prayers and support during the most difficult time of our lives. The Duggar family, with its 19 siblings and sprawling network of spouses, children, and extended relatives, is no stranger to challenges. Yet, as Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar sat in the front pew, clutching each other's hands tightly, the weight of this particular loss seemed almost unbearable. For all their fame and fortune, this was a moment that stripped away the externalities, leaving only raw human pain and the need for comfort. A united family in grief. The family's arrival at the small, non-denominational chapel in Springdale, Arkansas, was marked by quiet solidarity. The Duggars, often criticized for their conservative beliefs and public controversies, showed a different side as they came together in shared grief. Jill's sisters, Jessa, Duggar, and Joanna, had been her pillars of support from the moment the tragedy struck. Each of them arrived with their husbands and children, offering hugs and soft words to Jill and Derek as they entered the chapel. Jessa, ever the mediator, had taken it upon herself to coordinate the logistics of the service, ensuring that everything ran smoothly. Duggar, who had flown in from Los Angeles, brought a bouquet of white lilies, Isla's birth flower, which she placed tenderly at the front of the altar. Joanna, visibly emotional, had been the one to design the slideshow of Isla's short but beautiful life, set to a soft rendition of Amazing Grace. Even estranged family members, like Jill's older brother Josh, whose controversies have created a rift within the family, attended quietly, staying in the background. Despite past tensions, the family's focus was solely on supporting Jill and Derek, setting aside differences for the day. A touching ceremony. The service began with a hymn, the chapel filled with the soulful voices of family and friends singing "It Is Well With My Soul." Jill and Derek sat together in the front row, holding hands tightly, their faces etched with grief but also a quiet strength. Derek, who had taken the lead in delivering Isla's eulogy, stepped to the pulpit with tears in his eyes. His voice trembled as he spoke of his daughter's short life and the joy she had brought to their family. "She was our miracle," he began, his voice breaking. "In her 6 months, Isla taught us more about love, resilience, and the beauty of life than we ever imagined possible. Though her time with us was far too short, her impact will last forever. We will carry her in our hearts every single day." Jill, too overcome to speak, clutched a small blanket that had belonged to Isla, a tangible reminder of her baby girl. Her sisters surrounded her, their hands resting on her shoulders, offering silent support. The family pastor delivered a heartfelt sermon, focusing on themes of faith, hope, and the promise of reuniting with loved ones in heaven. His words provided a measure of comfort to the grieving family, reminding them that Isla was now at peace, free from pain and wrapped in divine love. A community comes together. Beyond the family, the small chapel was filled with members of the community who had been touched by Jill and Derek's journey. Former castmates from 19 Kids and Counting On were present, as were members of the church community who had known Isla from her earliest days. Fans and followers of the Duggar family had also shown an outpouring of support online, many of whom sent flowers and letters that were displayed at the reception following the service. The display table, adorned with photographs of Isla, was surrounded by notes filled with prayers and heartfelt messages. One particularly touching tribute came from Duggar, who had written a letter to Isla, which she read aloud during the service. "Dearest Isla," she began, her voice steady but filled with emotion, "you were a light in this world, a reminder of God's purest love. We miss you more than words can say, but we know you are safe in His arms now. Until we meet again, sweet girl. Healing together." After the service, the family gathered at a nearby community hall for a private reception. It was a chance for them to reminisce about Isla, sharing stories and finding solace in each other's presence. The room was filled with laughter mingled with tears as siblings and cousins remembered Isla's bright spirit. For Jill, the reception was a moment to express her gratitude. "We've been overwhelmed by the love and support we've received," she said, addressing the room. "Every hug, every prayer, every kind word has been a blessing to us. Thank you for being here, for standing with us in our pain and helping us remember the joy Isla brought into our lives." Her words were met with nods and murmurs of agreement, a testament to the strength of a family that, for all its flaws, remains deeply committed to one another. Moving forward. As the day came to a close, the Duggar family made their way to a small, private burial site, where Isla Grace was laid to rest. The simple headstone bore her name and the inscription, "Loved beyond measure, forever in our hearts." For Jill and Derek, the road ahead will be long and filled with moments of sorrow and healing. Yet, surrounded by family and buoyed by their faith, they will face it together. The loss of Isla has left a hole in their hearts, but her memory will continue to be a source of strength and inspiration. The funeral was more than just a farewell, it was a celebration of a short but meaningful life, a reminder of the importance of family, faith, and the bonds that carry us through even the darkest times. As the Duggars left the cemetery hand in hand, it was clear that Isla's legacy would live on in the love and unity she inspired in those who knew her.